Tonight, come with us to Rikers Island, the biggest jail complex in America, a place haunted by its violent history. 8,000 inmates living in a kind of suspension, a shadow world.
If you can survive Rikers Island, you can survive anything.
I'm about to kill myself.
Rikers is a badass place.
There is only one road in, across a bridge.
The inmates have nicknamed this the Bridge of Pain.
On one side of the car, we can see the New York skyline celebrating possibility and hope. And straight ahead, a world apart. We've been granted unprecedented access.
Hi, I'm Sawyer with ABC.
Our cameras will have 7 days inside, 70 hours. Once we enter the first lesson of Rikers, be ready for the unexpected.
You have to stand by for 1 second. Stand by for 1 second.
There's an alarm.
During our time there, 9 different alarms locked down.
Quickly.
The number that are being deployed right now indicates something pretty big, doesn't it?
On the other side of this maze of doors, the question we came here to answer. Is it really possible to change this notorious, explosive place? We start with the treatment of the most violent inmates. A door opens. Listen. The sound of solitary confinement. Across Rikers, while we're there, 165 people locked up to 23 hours a day in concrete cells.
What'd you say?
We were given a restriction, no interviews through the cell doors. It could create heightened turbulence. This is the punishment for inmates who attack officers or each other, fighting, slashing with hidden weapons.
Yeah, man, but they won't let me out, man. I ain't sure you know what you're talking about, man. Hopefully one day I'll be there close to her.
As we said, their entire world is concrete walls, a toilet, a sink, no TV, cut off from most human interaction. It's not even possible to see through the opening on this door. And the 1 hour spent outside for recreation, locked separately into an outdoor cage. In decades past, Rikers used unlimited isolation as punishment. 2 officers are the only regular human contact for up to 50 men.
Any sounds I hear, cell doors opening, anything, you just want to make sure that you're going to be okay.
And as the officers serve lunch, through a cell opening, a milk carton. The carton becomes a projectile, a giant spray of urine and feces.
Come back, move, move, move. I'm supposed to feed a guy that's throwing stuff out of the cell at me. I'm supposed to feed him, you know, but gotta still remain professional and do a job. So.
At Rikers, it's called splashing, and Officer Graham tells me every space around the cell door puts him at risk for the weaponized body fluids.
They probably fill it halfway, wedge it into the door. When you walk past, they smash it.
He says he knows people across America have seen those videos from Rikers in the past, officers using brute force. But he has a challenge.
Everybody has an opinion, you know, about what goes on and stuff in here, but 9 times out of 10, anybody that has anything negative to say about a correctional officer, they never even been in a facility.
But again, a fundamental question. Do long stretches in solitary make inmates less dangerous or more?
I have a lot of years of solitary confinement.
Rafael Figueroa says in the past, he was locked a 1.5 years straight in solitary, which prisoners call the box. He says he's now a time bomb. How many fights?
Over the years, I can't even count. Over, I would say, maybe 30, 40. I've been beaten down, almost killed exactly in this jail. I've been more in prison than in the streets. When I went to the streets, I feel like I was in jail. You know, I'm so, you know, institutionalized, brainwashed, call it what you want to call it.
He says he's changed forever.
And here, I feel comfortable inside myself because I'm safe from myself. I'm safe from others. I can't function in society.
The vast majority of inmates are here in a kind of purgatory, convicted of nothing yet, awaiting trials. And 57% of these inmates were charged for non-violent crimes.
First time incarcerated?
Yeah, first and last time. Get to experience it all, I guess.
Aaron Perry, sent to Rikers for stealing computers and phones, ended up in the hell of solitary because of an angry outburst. He talks about the despair in this place.
I see a lot of frustration. I see frustration.
Commissioner Joseph Pont says there is simply no evidence this kind of treatment reduces violence. And says, remember, 80% of the inmates at Rikers will eventually be back out in your town. He says he wants the officers to start striving for something better.
We can change people's lives, and if you don't believe that,
then you got to say that these are throwaway people, right? So they're throwaways. They're violent when they came in, they're going to be violent when they go out, and they're going to be the next criminal that does 50 years, the next assault, because these guys are getting out. They're going to be your neighbor.
So Pont has already reduced the number of inmates in solitary by 70% and put time limits on the stay. Instead, he's created a unit where even highly dangerous inmates are out of their cells for 7 hours a day in programs and treatment, with extra security around. He's also moved the seriously mentally ill into special units with intensive therapy. But his most controversial and even radical idea may be this one: to be the first jail in the country to get rid of solitary altogether for the younger inmates, 18 to 21 years old, a small percentage of the population, the most difficult to control.
Hasn't it been a third of the violent incidents?
Third of the violence.
Doesn't that give you pause, getting rid?
It's not easy. These are difficult, dangerous people that we're dealing with. I'm not saying this is an easy task for us, but it's a much better, hopeful outcome than what we were doing.
You've never been shaken in that belief.
I haven't.
We are walking in the part of solitary housing the younger inmates. The sound here, wild and deafening. Pont says study after study shows the adolescent brain is still forming until the age of 25. Isolation could change the wiring. 21-year-old Richard Delgado, chained to the wall.
Ricardo, Delgado.
Are you dangerous?
Nah, I ain't gonna lie. When I first got locked up, I was depressed. I'm like, damn, I felt like killing myself. But then the neighbor next to me heard that. He's like, yo, you bugging. Like, how old are you? He's like, I'm 20. You're gonna go home. Like, don't kill yourself. You bugging. You gotta be strong.
Delgado is in Rikers for murder, in solitary for an alleged attack on another inmate. A lot of officers ask, what happens to them when solitary is over and they can't threaten the use of the box?
I didn't sign up to be a punching bag. I didn't sign up to be a crash test dummy. You go back to that housing area that inmate assaulted you in, and you're looking at him eye to eye, and he's looking at you going, I'll do it again.
The officers call it punitive segregation.
Punitive segregation should not be dismantled for the 18 to 21-year-olds, not at all.
We told the commissioner what some officers are saying.
We're not here to be babysitters.
The officers' roles change. It's really faith. We're asking people to kind of look in faith that can we change people's lives.
Whoever thought getting rid of solitary confinement was a good idea, you need to pack your stuff up and you need to go.
And consider what happened to Officer Ray Calderon, who has gone public, his face slashed by two 19-year-olds last November.
Got 22 stitches in my face, okay? This could have easily been a funeral arrangement today.
And I think what happened to Officer Calderon was tragic. I don't want to in any way diminish what happened.
But in one sense, what happened to Calderon makes the case against solitary. The 19-year-olds who slashed him had been in the box. It didn't stop them from attacking when they got out.
If we believe we can change them, and we stop you being harmed, or me being harmed, or our family being harmed, by the fact that we did some good with these individuals, we won't save them all, but I'll guarantee you what we were doing was saving nobody.
When we come back, what about the history of officers using brute force?
What's up, baby boy? You good?
And we meet the inmate who operates as a kind of rock star here at Rikers.
Everything copacetic?
His life about to change in ways he did not expect.
Wow. Unprecedented access to Rikers Island. Dinah, I'm struck by one of your opening lines, haunted by a violent history. Did you see anything to indicate that's changing, can change?
I want you to see some of these officers coming up who really believe in this mission statement, and some of the programs are already in place, and you'll be able to see how they're working, if they're working. And I really think you're going to meet some people you won't easily forget.
More of Diane Sawyer's powerful reporting from Rikers Island when we come back.